Sri Aurobindo, Mira is my refuge. Om Anandamayi, Chaitanyamayi, Satyamayi, Parami. Vande Mataram, Namaste, good evening, welcome all of you. Today, the topic of this spiritual discussion is on narrowness of life. So, we'll discuss on life to a little bit, of course, in brief. The topic of this spiritual discussion of this evening is on narrowness of life. Very interesting topic, and we'll know and see about the life, the objective of life, and then we'll see why it is narrow. To some extent, we'll try to discuss on life. Very interesting, really interesting. The topic is on narrowness of life. Before going to discuss a life, we must know the definition of life. Life, the whole life, and this there is a distinction between whole life and all life. Whole life means this life which we are now leading, from the point of birth to the point of death, that circle, that straight line, this is known as whole life. And all life means the entire life till now we have lived in. Birth after birth we have taken many lives, and this life also it is on the way, and afterwards also towards supramentalization in this evolutionary path we will so many lives we will cross again. So these are all known as the in all life. So we are going to know what is the object of our life. Then when the aim of a life, people simply we ask people, they see, they feel will be something like doctor, engineer, IAS, or businessman, or something, industrialist, something. But after sometimes this it actually changes. The aim of life to changes as per the progression, as per man is advancing in their age. So this is a very good example. We'll see what is the aim of our life. The aim of our life, when we are going to discuss, it will be discussed in the levels of, not in the material plane or in the material consciousness, or we will not get any material definition. Of course, we will get spiritual discussion. Everything will be decided and discussed on the lights of Sri Aurobindo, of course. The objective of life, what Sri Aurobindo course. Regard your life as given you only for the divine work and to help in the divine manifestation. Only object is for the spiritual sadhaka is the divine. Only divine, there is no other aim. Here we will discuss on the object of life. The object of life is the growth of the soul, not outward success of the hour or even the near future. So the entire object of the nature is the growth of the soul. The growth of the soul, not only outward success. Success is not at all our goal. We need perfection. Already we have discussed, discussing in education. Sri Aurobindo course here, the object of the life is the growth of the soul, not outward success of the hour or even the near future. That is not the goal. Then Sri Aurobindo course here, the divine fullness is the sole real aim of humanity. The divine fullness, that perfection, of course. The divine fullness is the sole real aim of humanity. Then what happens? Turn all things to honey, and this is the law of the divine living. What is the purpose? What is the object of divine living? Turn all things to honey. Honey, that sweetness, that richness is there. To everything, you just turn everything. Then that is the law of divine living. Then she has been the course about the object of living in another way, growth, not the growth of spirit in nature, but the growth of the spirit in nature, affirming and developing itself in the mind, life, and body. This is the true object of nature, growth, but the growth of the spirit in nature, in the spirit nature, the growth of the spirit, the only growth, affirming and developing in the mind and the life and the body. Then next question after this growth, divine living, divine feeling, divine fullness. So growth, next term comes, that is possessions. Possession, but a possession by the divine of the divine. Possession, but the possession by the divine of the divine, by the divine and of the divine in all things, and not of things for their own sake by the desire of the ego. Ego or desire, it has no place. But the thing that possessing by the divine and of the divine, only for the divine, this is the possession you must have, only divine, nothing else. not to even given to the desire of the ego, that it has no place. Then after growth possession comes the enjoyment, but an enjoyment of the divine ananda, nothing else. This is not this supreme or small happiness, this small limited happy pleasure or something. Enjoyment is the enjoyment, but the an enjoyment of the divine ananda in the universe, entire within the universe, the enjoyment of the divine ananda, that is the goal, that is the object. Then against Aurobindo quotes here, the object of the spiritual seeking, something we claim we are spiritual, but thing is that spiritual, we must know when we are going to be spiritual. The spiritualism is the condition only if and only if we are in contact with the psychic being that is well within us. Whenever we are able to contact the divine, when the psychic being, when we are in contact with the psychic being, when it is come out to the fore and taking care of us, is leading us and guiding us, then only the spiritual life starts. So the again also quotes, at the mind's twilight and the life starlit light, there gleamed the dawn of a spiritual day. Mind's twilight, when the karnama, the work of the mind ends, that dazzlement is ending, the twilight. And the life starlit night, when the life's enjoyment, everything is over, then they are gleamed, after the night the dawn comes, they are gleamed the dawn of a spiritual day. So here in the course, the object of the spiritual seeking is to find out what is eternally true, that is the divine, what is eternally true. It was true, it is true, it will be true. But actually your mental reactions, mental phenomenon, this reasoning, they are not eternally true. That is true for a moment, after some time it will change. So not what is true in time. In time it is true, but actually sometime after some time it will fade. But eternally what is true, that is the sole object of spiritual seeking. That is the divine, and is divine life, divine leelas, everything relates to divine. That is the object of spiritual seeking, eternal spiritual seeking. Out of the objective, our one objective, here in the course, our one objective in life must be the divine himself, nothing but the divine. That is the only objective into whom, knowingly or unknowingly, something always aspires in the secret nature. Natures in secrets, it also aspires. All nature dumbly calls to her alone to heal with her feet the aching throb of life. So now we will go to discuss few lines from Sabritri about the narrowness here in the course here. So life, directly here in the course here, life in its boundaries lingered satisfied. Life in its boundaries, because this life is almost confined. Life in its boundaries lingered satisfied with the small happiness of the body's acts. Small happiness, that is not large, that divine ananda is not there, only smallness, only bounded, everything is very confined. With the small happiness of the body's acts, assigned as a force to a bound corner mind. One who again here in the course, corner mind and bound corner mind. Assigned to force to a bound corner mind. Everything is consigned, everything is confined, and still they are inside that smallness and littleness, life gets lingered satisfied. Attached to the sapacity of her room, she feels safe within this contrariety, within this smallness, within this bounds, attached to this sapacity of her room, she is life lingered satisfied. So she did her little works and played and slept. Did her little works, what is given to you. Whatever you do, that is only little, unless otherwise it is connected to the divine. Without the divine work, everything seems to be small, very much limited. She did the little works and played and slept, and thought not of a greater work undone. So many greater, for which it was sent with a mission. Life came here, but nothing has been done. But thought not of the greater power, greater work not done. Simply that food, shelter, roti, kapda, makan, food, shelter, dress, within this only he lingered satisfied. Small life wants, he is satisfied with all these things. Here in the course, he did the little works and played and slept, and thought not of a greater work undone. Forgetful of her violent vast desires. Not at quoting about the aspiration, but here in the course here, forgetful of her violent vast desire. Vast desire and violent vast desire. After this violent vast desire, some change will come, then we may seek for aspiration. That aspiration stage has not at all reached. Forgetful of the heights to which she rose. The original height actually from where he is detached, that is forgotten, forgetful of the heights to which she rose. Her work was fixed within a radiant group. Of course, many people are not moving. Some people are who are moving, who are in the corner or the fastest track. Her work is fixed within a radiant group. They feel we have reached because there is light, some luminousness there. So rather darkness, that darkness is not there, but actually some grayness. We feel happy. Some dim light, we are happy, but it is not the goal. The beautiful body of a soul at age, like one who laughs in sweet and sunlit groups, childlike she sung in her gold cradle of joy. Well, as you know, the cradle in the swing, the child is actually it is swinging, moving, sitting in the cradle. Like this man is there, as the child is happy sitting on the cradle and the greeting swing song. So like this, we feel that we are happy, we have done something, at least we are achieving something, we are happy because the greater aim, greater objective, greater height, greater light, everything is unknown and forgetful to us, forgotten. We have, it is totally untouchable, we have not touched. The spaces call reached not her charmed abode. The space, the call of the spaces can't touch. The space means it is a big, it is a vast. That call of the vast never reaches is confined, charmed abode. So she had no wings for wide and dangerous flight. There, life has to be adventurous. She has to go for that glorious, wide and dangerous flight, but there is no wings for him to for it to move on to travel on or to wing with fly on. So she faced no peril of sky or of abyss, confined, not seeing, so not exploring to the vastness of the sky. She faced no, so when she is not going, so how shall I face the peril? How there is no adventure? She faced no peril of sky or of abyss. She knew no vistas and no mighty dreams. No vistas she could be able to, she could not know. No mighty dreams for him, no yearning for the lost infinitudes from which he came. He is originally, he should possess the infinity. Infinity is her own natural home. But thing is that he has forgotten. No yearning even, not this only she is satisfied within these small desires, not even the violent, vast desires. Very, really tragic. The descriptions here in the giving really tragic. We should think of, we should try to inquire and try to concentrate upon that and try to start our adventure from the very perfect hour that is now. Even though it is not satisfied us, or to some extent we have started, we have to be very swift. Otherwise, the train will must fail and we have to wait for another life or many lives, who knows. So next was here in the course, a perfect picture of in a perfect frame, it is lost. This fiery artist could not keep his will, naturally could not keep because he knows not. He has willed not, he has not desired violently. Only within small confines his life lingered satisfied. Only a moment's fine release it gave. Only a moment's fine release. To some extent, he is happy. He is enjoying that. I have achieved something. Others are there. They don't know. At least I have done something. Within this small happiness, within this small confine, small release, he is confined. A careless hour was spent in a slight bliss. Just imagine. Careless hour was spent in a slight bliss. So just imagine, bara barsara tapasya sukha jalore. A careless moment for nothing we are spending. We are just actually simply we are wasting time. A careless hour was spent in a single bliss. Our spirit tires of being surfaces. This surface, our spirit really, which is the one or which is the two representative, it is actually tired because mind, life, or body, they don't know. Even they are very much fragile, they are very much accessible to this smallness, and they don't even imagine they don't dream of us, of course. Our spirits tires of being surfaces. Transcended is the splendor of its form. Only form is transcended or to be form, but originality very difficult. It turned to hidden powers and deeper states. So now see, he looked beyond a greater light. So naturally, if somebody is conscious above, he must be conscious, and from the narrowness of life, he has to expand or go. Thank you, Vandana.